channel. My name is Teno Merkaba, and in today's video, last but not least, the final video that will conclude the Venus series, I'm talking about Venus in motherfucking Aries, dude. I know Aries is first, but today is last. Wow, this series is last. But before I continue, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Once again, thank you so much to all my new subscribers, guys. I'm very, 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 very grateful that you guys have joined my astrology channel where I talk about things that I'm really interested in. Once again, please check out my other YouTube channel, Avocado Man, where I do other things that are not astrology. Also, if you would like a birth chart reading from me, I will send my link. My words today. If you like a birth chart reading from me, fucking hit me up on my Instagram that I will link down below, and I will send you a menu of all the different readings that I provide and that you can get from me. But anyway, without further ado, guys, Venus in Aries. So what is the basic archetype of Aries, right? So Aries is ruled by the first house, the house of your personality, your ascendant, right? That's what Aries rules. It's ruled by your personality. Your first house is your personality. Issues, like your personal issues that you deal with, how you deal with your own issues as an individual. Basically, your first house is your individual house. You know, it's your I am, it's who I am. Let alone, not like my family, my friends, my fucking associates. Nah, it's me, how I deal with my own personality, my own personal issues, my own personal affairs, how I deal with the people, places, and things that are who are personal to me, and shit that is personal to me. You know what I'm saying? Taking things personal. You know what I'm saying? It's all about me. It's kind of like not selfish like Leo. Not self-centered like Leo. It's more so selfish. It could also be self-centered though, if, to the extent. But really, it's just all about the self. Just anything dealing with self-deprecating. Doing it to yourself, self-deprecating, self-loathe. Just think of all the self-worth. It's all about you, So that's the first house. So obviously, it's going to rule like your face, what you wear, how you, like your first impressions. Just how you approach the world as I am this human being. I am a mere mortal that will die one day. My name is whatever. I am Teno. I am Angela. I am Lufuno. I am whatever, That's your first house. It's the house of I am this person. And this is how I deal with this. And this is how I feel about this. And this is how I see this. You know what I'm saying? Just think of that. That's your first house, right? So we have the first house, and then we have Mars. So now you're passionate about things that are in your first house, right? You're passionate about the way that you do things, and you usually attack them because Mars is the planet of like war. You know what I'm saying? It's the planet of like, let's go get it, like passion, your intentions. It's more so like instinctual. It's also like a selfish planet too, because it also rules like the 8th house, which is also about your own personal deep desires, your own, you know what I'm saying? Mars is really just about yourself. But if we add it with the first house, it adds a double emphasis on the selfish energy. It adds a double emphasis on, the self, right? And then it's a fire sign, but it's cardinal fire. So it's initiating and creating new ways of how to see and feel about its own passions, about how it's going to handle its own personality. So do you see what I'm saying? It's like very masculine. The Aries energy is very masculine, you know what I'm saying? But it's also like very forceful, but it's also like very intentful, but not so with the strategy like it would in Scorpio. It's more so just about like the instinct, like let's just go do it and see what happens later. This is why a lot of Aries do first and then they think later, because they're also like a fire sign, and fire signs and water signs usually do things first. Or water signs more so feel something first and then they think about it later, but fire signs more so like they react first and then they think about like, the situation later. But Aries do this more so because it's gonna hit the head first, right? And they want to be first to like react, so so that they don't look like a punk bitch, because also Mars is there, and Mars is like the warrior. Do you know what I'm saying? So if we put all of that in Venus is away here, Venus wants to love and compromise with other people. Venus is about the others, like I say. Mars is about the self. I'll just dissect that later, right? But Mars is really just about like your own passions, and then Venus is about like just kind of the pleasures, pleasuring yourself but also pleasuring other people. Like Mars is more so like Mars is more so like self-preserving in a way. It's like, okay, I'll do that for you because I know at the end of the day I'm gonna get that from you, or I'm gonna get that from the situation. Fucking Venus is all about like, let's both, like, we don't have to somehow manipulate each other, but we can both like benefit if we just like help each other, you know. Venus wants to compromise and love people, and like you be like, oh my god, okay, are you okay with this? Okay, well, let's find means to like compromise, let's find means to meet each other halfway. Especially Libra though, you know, Taurus will be somewhat stubborn with what makes them feel comfortable, you know, but with the opposition of the Aries and the Libra thing, Libra really wants to be like, okay, tell me about you, I'll tell you about me, let's find middle ground, let's like, kind of, you know, let's like build a relationship and take step by step, slowly, you know, let you say something, I say something, you know, you like this, oh my god, that's really cool, you know, I don't like it, but I'm gonna appreciate the fact that you like this. So obviously if you have Aries in the planet of the compromising planet, it's like kind of, it's like friction, but like a bad kind of friction, you know, because like I said, Venus wants to love and appreciate, but in Aries it really can't do that. So instead of loving and appreciating other people and like actually doing the process of loving, because Venus is all about love, right? And Mars is about like the intention and the passion of it. So in here, right, Aries, Venus people, they may struggle, and because I mean fucking Mars is all about war and shit, they may fight love. Venus and Aries may fight love, or they may want people to fight for their love, or they may fight for somebody else's love, or it may be a situation where they just fight love altogether. Whether they know they're doing this or whether they don't know they're doing this, they may fight love, or they may live their life not really doing love the way love is meant to be done, in terms of like, because obviously Tauruses, Libras and Pisces do love the best, especially in Pisces, because Pisces is like, I love you just for who you are, you know what I'm saying? It sucks in Aries and Virgo and Scorpio, because Aries, it loves itself. Virgo, it's too busy nitpicking the faults and like the bad things about what you're doing. In Scorpio, it's busy loving its own desire and its own passion, and it has no time to kind of like compromise or relate. You know, it's like passions and intentions. Same thing with Aries, you know, like because Aries is all about the self, it's difficult for you to compromise with other people's love languages unless it resonates with things that are aligned with how you handle your own personality, you know, because the first house is the house of the self, you may, like I said, you may love and appreciate yourself, and that gives no room to love and appreciate other people, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you would need, and also so it's a fire sign, it's cardinal fire, so you love and appreciate your own way of seeing things and initiating seeing things, and that in turn, like, if you love your own way of seeing things, you don't care about how other people see things or how other people view how love should be. You have your own ideas of how love should be. So, and in that way, because the sign before you is Pisces, which is the sign of illusions and things that may not be real, your way of seeing love, because fire is all about seeing, your way of seeing love may not be relatable, but it also may not be a realistic kind of love, you know. So that's why for you it may be difficult to even be in relationships sometimes, because you demand, kind of like a Leo also, like you demand a specific way of being loved, but the way that you demand love may not even be something people can give to you, let alone willingly give to you. So then you might spend like your life thinking, oh my god, you know what, it's fine, I just have to love myself because clearly people can't live up to my standards. But those standards can be very much unrealistic, just like Venus and Virgo, where you may have these unrealistic standards and then like nitpick when people don't do it the way that you think they should do it, you know. So in turn, you may attract like a lot of relationships where you may attract like a lot of kind of Libra kind of relationships where like you attract people that want to compromise with you and kind of meet you halfway, but then you may see that as like, no, now I have to give up the way I want things to be done, because, and you know, you may not really be keen to be doing that, because once again, you want to be the leader, like you want to lead a relationship, but the way that you're doing it, you're not considering somebody else, you know. It can be with Venus and Aries, you can be a very selfish person. Like very selfish, where you're only catering to your own needs or your own wants that are personal to you, you know? And if somebody presents something to you that doesn't resonate with your own personality or how, you know, you view things for yourself, then you may just completely discard that or see it as like useless, or, you know, like be kind of like, you know, just shrug it away, or just kind of be reluctant to even viewing that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? You may not be open to just like compromising your views on how to love, and you don't want to like see love the way other people see love, you know, because once again, you have your own personal way of doing things, and you love your personality basically. So like I said, you love yourself, you love how you handle your own personal issues. You may even love your own personal issues, you know, because it's all gonna deal with your first house. So we're basically just putting your first house in Venus, so you're loving and appreciating your first house. And that's a bit of a tricky situation for Venus, because Venus likes to be in the second house in Taurus, or the 7th house in Libra, or in the 12th house, where it's exalted at in Pisces, you know. But in fucking Aries, Venus and Aries people, I just feel like, I think when they're younger, they may be like Leos in the sense where they may want to like boss around the people that they're with, and they may attract like, I feel like they may attract like assholes, and they may like that because they love the passion, like they love passion, and they love other people who are individuals. So I think a Venus in Aquarius would do really well with the Venus in Aries, or a Venus in no, I'd say a Venus in Leo wouldn't do well with the Venus in Aries. Because the Venus in Leo would probably like, they want to be the center of attention, but the Venus in Aries also somewhat wants to be the center of attention. So that's going to be the clash. I think of Venus in Sagittarius, because they have enough room, and like they don't really give a fuck that much about shit, and they also like the excitement and the thrill of being, you know, just like kind of being wishy-washy, you know. Yeah, so I think Venus in Aquarius would also be really cool, because how they love is like a unique, you know, they're also somewhat of an individual, and I don't think they require too much in terms of like catered, like the Venus in Aquarius isn't like the type of person that's like, yo, dude, continue catering to my needs, because that's what I want you to do, cater to me, because the Venus in Aries is also like too busy loving and appreciating, catering to themselves basically. And I feel like they would rather be with people who have that same energy, who don't really need them, or who don't need like their validation, because the Venus in Aries is always like going to be the type of person that's always self-validating. Like they don't care about external opinions, which is the good thing about this placement, you know. You're not willing to compromise. It's like Venus in Libra would probably be the type of person that they would think twice about doing something, because they don't want to step on people's toes, or they don't want to like rock the boat. But a Venus in Aries person wouldn't really give a fuck about that, because it's like, as long as I'm fine, then I'm fine, you know. You may feel however you want to feel it, because regardless, I don't see it the way you see it. I see myself the way how I want to see myself, which is that thing, like, because you, with this placement, I feel like the good thing about this is that you have mad confidence, you know, but it could be to such an extreme where like your confidence is like super distasteful to people, and people, you could really look good, but for the fact that you exude that energy, people don't even want to be around you, because you're the type of person that like, on one, like the positive side of this is that you, like I said, you don't need validation, and in your heart of hearts, like you see yourself as the baddest bitch, or like a dope ass homie, dope ass human person, you know, like that. But in a sense, it's like people may not like being around you just because you always, in Zulu we say this thing like uyazitshela. Basically it just means like, oh, you think, you know, oh, you think you're the shit, oh really, oh wow. You see, obviously, like, you know, people be hating too, but Venus and Aries can hate too, especially if somebody else is getting attention, you know, because they may, if somebody else is getting love, they can't relate to that, you know, because that's an external person, and they love themselves, they love the self, so they may not they may, so that this is when they're gonna get the Mars energy, when they start hating on that person, you know, because Mars can also be hate. Whereas Venus is love, Mars can be hate, you know. So they may hate when somebody else is getting attention. Just kind of like the Venus and Leo person, you know, but for different reasons. Because Venus and Leo just wants to be the one entertaining and be the center of attention. Venus and Aries just wants to be, they just not relatable. Venus and Leo is at least relatable in the sense where they'll share the center stage, but they'll want people to know, like, I was the one who created that stage, you know. A Venus and Aries wouldn't even, like, if somebody else is giving attention, they would definitely want to revert everybody's eyes on them, but they may do that to an extreme where it's like, dude, you're doing the fucking most, like, chill out, you know. Just imagine, like, I feel a Venus and Aries would be the type of person, like, if, for example, they like a person and that person is talking to somebody else, that Venus and Aries is gonna go disrupt that conversation, start twerking, or like, I don't know, talking, or like, just, you know, do something like very disruptive like that, because they want that, and they're gonna do it extremely, you know. If they have to, like, they can go really extreme with that energy, you know. And that could just be like kind of annoying in a sense, because it's like, dude, you don't have to, like, it's not that deep, you know what I'm saying? But because they want to be first in initiating situations like that, you know, because it is like the first house. So I feel like even Venus and Aries women sometimes wouldn't, unless they have like Pisces sun sign, that would be different. Yeah, but I feel like they wouldn't mind, like, initiating a relationship, or just going up to a person and be like, yo, I like you, or dude, I think you're hot, let's have sex. You know, they're very direct. And they're not like Libras where because this is the opposition, where Libras would, like, they know how to build a conversation up and then somewhat still be indirect, and then instill it in your mind that they want this thing, like, by merely suggesting things. Then that's how they get what they want, through manipulation, basically. Venus and Aries people may not do that, unless obviously if you have like a Libra moon, and that's gonna modify things, or, you know, whatever. But for the most part, Aries Venus people, like, they're very direct in their love matters, you know, and they're not afraid to get what the fuck they want and say what the fuck they want. Like, a Venus and Aries person, I feel like, wouldn't mind telling you what they want from you. They're not going to be passive like a Libra, where they'll, like, just swallow what they really want to say, hoping that you'll figure it out based on things that they throw out in the air. No, a Venus and Aries person is going to tell you exactly, dude, go get me food now, you know. And that's like, you know, for like other air signs maybe, or fire signs like Sagittarius, they may be like really spicy, like, ooh, what, oh, if I don't, what you gonna do, you know, like that kind of they can be very spicy, like very sassy people, especially the shorties. I feel like the dudes also are very direct. I feel like dudes may be very playful in love also, but they just may be very selfish. Like, if you are a dude and, like, let's say you have a homie that wants to bum a cigarette with you, you may say no, because to you it's like, no, I want to have the cigarette all to myself. Whereas like a Libra and Taurus maybe would be like, sure, you could have mine, and then they go get themselves another cigarette, you know. Or like a Venus and Libra, they'd be like, okay, don't worry, I'll smoke off, you smoke off, you know. A Venus and Aries dude probably be like, nah, dude, like, nah, why didn't you bring money to, like, buy it yourself, you know. Obviously it's gonna depend, because if they have Pisces, then, you know, they may be a lot more sharing, maybe, you know. But for the most part, because you're always gonna think about yourself, you know, you're gonna think about it, like, if you're gonna be good, you know. Whereas like I said, the Venus home people, Taurus, Libra, and Pisces, they're gonna always, like, kind of consider the next person and compromise their own needs with the next person. And that's the thing with Venus and Aries, is that you're not really willing, and it's like you're reluctant to compromise your own needs and your own wants with somebody, for somebody else, you know. Like, it's very difficult for you. And this could be a really good thing. I feel like what Libras can learn from Venus and Aries people is to, like, sometimes have discernment to say no, or think about yourself, you know. Because Venus can make it difficult. yes, it's gonna make you passive, but it can also make it difficult for you to just like stand up for yourself. And the Venus in Aries will see that as like weak, or like, dude, what the fuck? Why don't you care about yourself? Like, what? If you don't care about yourself, how the fuck am I gonna care for you? I'm gonna walk all over you and take whatever I want from you, because I know that you're too weak to say no, or you don't have the will to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, Venus and Aries people peep that shit, because they definitely know how to say no, and they know how to say no and not feel bad about it. And that's the thing, a Libra can definitely learn from Aries, period. Aries energy, just generally, you know, just being able to say no and not feeling bad about it, you know. And obviously, another topic is like, not Aries are like into energetic things. They may just love and appreciate competition, but to them, because like Aries like being first, just like Scorpios like winning, you know, because of that Mars, like they like being the first one, and they're always ahead too. Because fire is like seeing into the future, you know, so they want to be the ones who, like, if they have a vision and they can control that vision, then they want to be ahead of the steps to take actions to like get to the goal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they want to be, like I said, in terms of even if they like somebody, and you know that somebody's sitting next to somebody else, they're gonna do necessary things to like get exactly what the fuck they want, you know. So these are definitely go-getters. So I feel like it's the same with having a Venus in, I mean, Mars in Aries, but Mars, it's home there. So these are really just like, that's your passion, really. That's how you go ahead and do things. But this is in terms of what you love and appreciate, you know. So whatever it is that you love and appreciate, be it a person or thing, you're always gonna like take necessary actions to go get that shit, you know. Whereas in Mars, it would just be just everything generally in life, you know. You make food, you do it with intention. Whereas in Venus, it's obviously directed with love matters, you know. So having a Venus in Aries, I feel like these people, like, you definitely do have style. Like, you may be really good. I know someone I used to have a thing with had a Venus in Aries. She was a Pisces and she had like Aquarius in her chart. I also feel like with this placement you have tons of pride also. Because I remember having a conversation with this person and she was like, I asked her to do something and she was like, no, because I won't say her name. But she was like, no, because I'm Samantha. I'll just give her a name. No, I'm Samantha, dude. I don't do that. You know, that type of energy. Like, nah, like, fuck that. I don't do that. You know, that could be really cool. You know, it could be seen as cocky, but you just have confidence. Because like I said, you love and appreciate yourself. You know? It just may come, like, that's the thing I was saying. People, it may come off really distasteful to other people. Because it's like, what the fuck? Who do you think you are? You know, you made out of fucking carbon matter like I am. Don't fucking tell me. But it's not even about that with you, because it's like a feeling internally. Like, you feel like you are the shit, and you feel that, and you love it about yourself, you know. And you may not like being around people that are like, that aren't like that. Like, who, like I said, want validation from other people to feel good about themselves. You may see this as, what? You want me to tell you about yourself? Why aren't you sure about yourself? Let's talk about that. Why the fuck aren't you sure about yourself? How dare you ask me? Like, I'm not gonna, yo, bro, if you don't see that in you, I'm not gonna see it in you. You know, that type of thing. Like, it really goes that deep with Venus and Aries people. Where, like, obviously, if they have like Pisces in their chart, it's gonna modify it differently. If they have Taurus in their chart, definitely gonna modify it differently also, you know. But for the most part, it's like, yo, dude, you need a fiend for yourself. Like, you need to be everything you need from people, or you think you need from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are the type of person that's gonna ask me if you look good in a shirt, what the fuck? I don't know. What do you think? You know, that's the thing with Venus and Aries. It's like they're always thinking about, like, they're always gonna be self-sufficient in that area of life, where it's like they're not gonna really need people to do anything or like feel anything, because they're gonna initiate that feeling for themselves, you know, because they feel themselves, they see themselves. That's it. And they love and appreciate how they feel about themselves, you know. So if you get like those super depressed Aries, like, it can be really kind of icky in that situation, you know, because they may, like, if they don't feel good about themselves, obviously that's going to be projected into other people. So if they're around other people who do, then they may be super haters, you know, because I know Aries energy can be hating, you know, because it's like how they see it is, once again, they're not like relatable in the sense where they're like, oh, okay, let me appreciate somebody else because, you know, they look good in that outfit. Wow, that's really dope. Everyone's giving them attention for a valid reason because they actually look good. Nah, they're gonna hate that. They're gonna be like, ugh, disgusting. Ew. I hate the fact that. And they may even love when people kind of fail, you know? Can go that deep. You may like seeing people like not do well in life. But that's in Aries energy generally. You know, Scorpios may also feel this way, but they may not be super expressive about it. Like an Aries will express the fact, or you'll just see it in their face, in their actions, you know, because fire is always going to express themselves. So you may see it in their actions that they're really happy about somebody not succeeding in their lives, you know. That's the vibe. But yeah, for the most part, I think in love, you're super sad, and you love, because, okay, Aries energy is also like, it's like quick, you know. And like I say, they initiate things, and then they initiate something else, but they may not give the first initiation time to like see it through, unless they have Taurus, but they may not give it time to see that whole thing through until they can initiate something else, you know, like a Capricorn would. So that's the little square they can learn with Capricorn, is how to initiate something, see it through before you initiate another thing, you know. So just take your time. But that's the thing, you can apply this in love matters also, where it's like they always want excitement, they always want like a new thing, and this is why they can get into like flings with people, where I feel like Venus and Aries people are the type of people that love the honeymoon stages, you know, where it's like super cute, and then once things kind of get foggy, and like foggy in a way it's like kind of boring or dull, or, you know, now it's like a situation where the other person, like the Venus and Aries, now has to be kind of vulnerable, you know, because it's gonna take a while for a Venus and Aries person to be really vulnerable. Like, it's gonna take, because they need you to be in their personal lives. But if you're really not there yet, then it's, you know, they don't feel obligated to let you know, like let you in, or that type of thing, you know. Like, they're very good at, I think all fire signs are really good at like creating a vision for people, so that people see what the fire sign wants them to see, and then protecting, you know, those emotions. Because at the end of the day, fire signs can also be like big babies, especially Aries and Leo. Sagittarius is more like the chilled grandfather. That's like, whatever, you know, that vibe. But obviously all fire signs are gonna have some kind of like vulnerability. But for the most part, for like Aries energy, yo, bro, like they love excitement in relationships, you know. And if you're going to be boring, and trust me, they can get bored very easily. And this is what can make them heartbreakers also, where it's like, because they have this unrealistic way of viewing love, you know. Kind of like Gemini, like they always need stimulation constantly, and it can be very demanding, and it can be very draining to the person that they're with sometimes, you know, because they need constant stimulation. And if you're not stimulating them, then they're going to get that stimulation from somebody else. They're going to initiate and create a whole new way of seeing you as boring, and then create, like, just go somewhere else and initiate dope vibes there, you know. So they need, and obviously you get like those Tauruses with like a Taurus, I mean those Venus and Aries with the Taurus moon, which is like a lot more different and kind of cools things down. Or even sun sign Tauruses. Yeah, so I know fucking, what's this, Steve Lacy has a Aries Venus, and he's a Taurus moon and Mercury, but he's a 2 degrees Gemini sun. And you make that song, only you, my girl, only you, babe, only you, darling, only you, you know? It's obviously going to be different. But let's just say you're like a Gemini with a Venus and Aries, you know? You're definitely going to need excitement in your life, you know? You just need some sparks. But even if you are a Taurus, I think it's a lot better for you to initiate the vibes, but you obviously know how to continue that vibe. Like, you know how to maintain the good vibe. You may have like a lot of anger issues, and you probably do get angry easily when the love isn't going the way you are directing it or the way you are seeing it. You know, you may get frustrated in that way and then throw tantrums. But for the most part, like if you have Taurus in you, then it works a lot better because then you know how to like kind of maintain the relationship, you know. But I guess it would be a question if do you want to, you know? Do you want to? Because it's all gonna go down to that. Do you want to do it? Like, do you feel obligated to doing that? And that's really that's you. That's for you to figure out. But yeah, for the most part, Venus and Aries people, I feel like they know how to dress, especially if they have Leo in them. But if they do, then that makes them even more bossy. If they have like a Leo rising, oh Jesus Christ, or Virgo, oh my God, so fucking bossy, you know. But for the most part, like in the big three, obviously, because you can't have like a Virgo Mercury with the Aries in like Venus and Aries, you know. It's two. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna happen. But yeah, for the most part, guys, like Venus and Aries people, these guys are like very passionate lovers. They just may get bored quickly. Very self-sufficient, self-reliant, you know. Just may come off as cocky, and they may do the most to maintain attention or like to get someone's attention, you know. They may not like being told what to do in love, you know. They may have unrealistic ways of loving people that isn't inclusive of, like they may not be considerate, you know what I'm saying? They may be really mean also. They may trample on other people. And then wonder why like all their relationships don't work out. But I feel like those experiences eventually, as you get older, you kind of, you know, you get better at loving if you do decide to like continue loving. Because if you decide that, oh no, fuck relationship, it's just better to love myself, then you're not going to really gain wisdom and experiences to know what to do and what not to do, you know. I mean, unless you really don't want to be in a relationship because that's a conscious decision that you made, then ayoba, that's dope. But for the most part, I feel like just give it a chance. Just continue trying, you know. I know love is difficult with having Venus and Aries and Virgo and Scorpio. But I feel like the more you gain these experiences, then the more you learn, if you want to learn also. Because it's also going to be a question of, do you want to be better at love? Do you really want to be better at love? Do you want to be a good lover? Or do you just want to continue being selfish and just loving yourself? And you know what? That's up for you to decide. You know, but I feel like for the most part, Libras can just teach you how to be a lot more open to being like, oh, okay, let's try out what you like, you know, because that's what love is. It's basically compromising. Like, you have to meet people in the middle ground eventually, you know. It can't just be, the relationship just can't be based on, okay, it's all about you and what you want. And if I like something and it doesn't resonate with what you want, then you know you hate it. That's not a relationship. You might as well just date yourself. You know what? That's the thing. Venus and Aries. That's the sign of dating yourself. That's how you. But anyway, guys, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, thank you to all my new subscribers. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. And in my next video, I will talk about Venus and Aries through the houses.